Winning a case in court doesn't guarantee you'll get paid. That's especially true in Vietnam, where debtors often move, hide, or sell assets during the legal process. The solution: asset freezing. Under Vietnamese law, creditors can request pre-judgment or post-judgment asset preservation, if they act fast and follow the rules. In this video, we explain how to freeze a debtor's assets legally, strategically, and effectively. Asset freezing, also referred to as temporary emergency measures under Vietnamese procedural rules, is the legal act of temporarily preventing a debtor from disposing of property, transferring bank funds, or changing asset ownership during a dispute. This helps protect the creditor's recovery if the case is won. It can apply to real estate, vehicles, inventory, bank accounts, and other movable or immovable assets. When should you request asset freezing? There are two key moments to request asset freezing. The first is even before filing a lawsuit or arbitration, when you have grounds to believe the debtor may disperse assets. In that situation, you can seek an urgent court order first, but you must follow up by filing the main case within the statutory time limit. The second is immediately after filing, while the case is pending. In both scenarios, timing is critical. Waiting too long increases the risk that assets are already moved. To succeed, you need a clear, well-documented request submitted to the court or arbitration center. It must include 1. Evidence that the debtor owes you money, 2. Proof that they may be hiding or transferring assets, and 3. Identification of the assets to be frozen, ideally with property registration or account details. You must also submit a financial guarantee, typically cash or bond, to cover potential losses if the freeze is later deemed unjustified. In litigation, the request is filed with the court handling your dispute. The court will review it urgently and decide whether the legal conditions are met. If approved, the court issues a freeze order to the relevant banks, registries, or competent authorities to implement the measures. In arbitration, creditors typically seek court support for interim measures in connection with an arbitration case, so the assets can be preserved while the dispute is being resolved. A Singapore-based industrial supplier suspected a Vietnamese buyer was preparing to sell a factory and liquidate operations. LTS LAW filed for asset freezing while preparing litigation. Within 5 business days, we obtained a court-approved freeze on the property, including a lien on its sale. The asset freeze gave us negotiation leverage, and within 3 weeks, the debtor agreed to a secured repayment plan to avoid auction. Once a freeze is approved, the next step is enforcement. LTS LAW works with civil enforcement agencies, bank offices, and land registration authorities to serve the freeze order and confirm compliance. This may involve blocking account access, registering land title restrictions, or placing notices with business registries. Speed and precision are essential here. Any delay can result in asset dissipation. If you win the case, the frozen assets can be seized, sold, or applied toward your judgment. If you lose, or if the court finds the freeze was unjustified, your financial guarantee may be forfeited. That's why asset freezing must be planned carefully, not emotionally. LTS LAW conducts debtor profiling, risk analysis, and evidence review before filing. We don't just freeze, we freeze smart. Many foreign companies fail to provide sufficient proof or misunderstand the urgency of timing. Others submit freezing requests too broadly, targeting assets they can't identify. Some skip the required financial guarantee. All these errors lead to rejection. At LTS LAW, we've filed and won dozens of freezing orders, because we prepare better and execute fast. If you're dealing with a silent debtor in Vietnam, or planning legal action, don't wait for judgment day. Start by protecting what matters most, the assets. Contact LTS LAW at lts.com.vn for a strategy consultation on pre-litigation freezing, emergency relief, and high-value enforcement. Because in Vietnam, recovery isn't just about being right, it's about moving first.